All right. Thank you very much, John. Really appreciate the introduction and the time. I've got 5 minutes, so we're going to get into this. I'm Tom Hall, CloudCoreo's CEO, and we are all about helping clouds be safe and secure. So as you think about cloud, cloud basically means that everything is virtualized, everything. And Gartner, with this great quote here, says that 80% of cloud breaches are going to be due to simple misconfigurations, mismanaged credentials, or insider theft. So that's a huge number. The Mexico government had a bit of an issue when an S3 bucket security policy was left open to the world, and they lost every single voter record to a hacker that published it on the web. Incredibly embarrassing, all because of a simple misconfiguration and nobody checking it and verifying that from a configuration standpoint it was locked down. So why is this a problem? Well, when you think about virtualizing everything, and you talk about microservices and containers, and you've got DevOps, and you've got a lot of people touching infrastructure, essentially your options for error and misconfiguration are endless. And the problem's getting more challenging. So we've got a customer, and they basically say they have to have a policy of some sort. So here's where policy and DevOps and speed collide, because you have to have some type of controls to be able to operationalize it to make sure that you're secure. And that's the challenge, is how do you balance speed with control? So security today is about security individuals that come into kind of a cloud environment are on the outside. Many of the security professionals don't even know how to gain access to the AWS accounts or Azure or Google. And so essentially they come in, they're running these scans, and you get these huge amounts of compliance issues. And now they have to go to DevOps, and they have to say, hey, what can we do about this? DevOps is busy. They don't have the time. And it becomes almost a war of the worlds between speed and agility and security. So what does the future look like? The future is all about an integrated security platform that integrates with a DevOps and developer workflow. And so as infrastructure is deployed, you've got to check and verify at the time of deployment when the developer is actually creating that infrastructure and deploying it, because once it's deployed in a production environment, checking it is such a monumental task, and there's so many errors that are identified. And now you have to go back and try and figure out who did the deployment, what team member, how to fix it. How do you fix it so that anything that's automated isn't going to flip it back to an environment where it actually has vulnerabilities? So it's got to be in the development pipeline. So we are building a solution that ties back into the development process at first deploy to ensure that anything that's deployed within a public cloud adheres to rules that can be defined by standard configurations, or it can be a private rule that's defined by the company itself, business rules. So CloudCoreo, we are providing a platform that can adhere to AWS best practices, CIS rules, NIST, SOX, HIPAA. You've all heard these terms, but we're doing it in a way that doesn't inhibit the speed and the agility that's required and what is the greatest benefit about operating in a cloud environment. So we will do that at deployment. We will do it continuously over time. We do it by team member. We do roll-ups that go all the way up to the CTO, and that's CloudCoreo. If you have any interest, make sure you reach out, contact me, and be glad to talk to you further about it. Thank you very much.